I can never quite tell when it starts. Uh-oh. How bad is it? How bad's the connection? Oh, looks good. Oh, looks good. Okay. Let us share this in the Discord. We can get going. How are we doing, everyone? Oh my god. I feel like I'm a sweaty mess today. No, you shared a whole bunch of Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles. I hate these people so much. Alrighty, let's go. Streamer went for smokes. Sad. Oh no. What? Did you disconnect? I don't know. I don't know what that means otherwise. Hold on, let me turn the fan on. Oh, it gets hot when I turn the light on. Also, it gets hot just being around me and being me. Can you blame me? All right, enough of this. Okay, first thing. If I can find it, I had it in one of my tabs, but now I don't see it. Oh, no, that's not it. My God, you post a lot. Sorry, I just... Oh, this is so bad. Oh my God. This is so bad. Oh my God. Well, let's get started then, shall we? This isn't going to be a segment, it's just warm up. Carolyn Boroshenko. I'm saying this wrong. It's not Carolyn. It's an easy mistake to make. It's Carlin. Carlin Boroshenko. I think she just pronounces it Boroshenko. So, oh God, 71,000 tweets. How do you do that? She tweets an unhealthy amount, to say the least. So now that I'm glancing at this, I just realized I'm not going to be able to find it. She said some interesting things recently. But holy crap, 71,000 tweets. Just within the last few hours, it's just... Is this hundreds of tweets? How do you live on Twitter this much? Hold on, let me see. Someone's probably posted it. Someone's posted it here. Here we go. Is the tweet gone, or is it still up? Ah, here we go. Thank you, Merrick DeVille. Always comes through. She's the MVP. Okay, so... Oh, this is... Let's zoom in so we get this right. Okay. Carlin Boroshenko tweeted this out. And I believe... Should we do a voice? because I don't want to get like clipped out of context. It's always a good idea. And I believe that the baby is a spiritual creature that never really dies, and if aborted, can still be born again if it so chooses. Your spiritual beliefs are no more valid than mine. Stop forcing your religion on other people. You know, okay, this could be a hot take that gets me into trouble, but I don't think your religious or spiritual beliefs are inherently valid. You can come up with whatever wacky shit, and okay, that's fine, but that doesn't mean the rest of us need to necessarily respect it or go along with it. Take for example, cannibalism. Always have to work that one in. All right, next tweet. I believe that everyone always chooses to live or die. Everyone. Always. Aborted children choose to be aborted. If they choose to be born into human form in the future, they can. So no, I do not agree with this statement. Hello? How did it break? Oh! 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 How did it break? Okay, enough. What happened there? That was bizarre. Is this gonna keep happening? That's like the second or third time it's happened? What the fuck's going on? Oh! Okay, so let's say it. This is insane. I'm sorry. This is just insane. I do not agree with this statement. Oh, did it read? Did it show me reading the last tweet from her? I think it's YouTube. The G4 live stream went down to me too. Oh, really? You'd think G4 would like have its shit together, right? Oh, it's the X-Play Awards. Oh shit. You think I'd still be quiet. Let's see what's going on over there. Let me just
movie is supposed to be about Max Payne the games, right?
I don't care. Okay. Did it show me reading the last tweet, or do I need to do it again? I think I need to do it again. Alright, whatever. Karlin Boroshenko. Yes, they do. Everyone who died in the Holocaust chose to die in the Holocaust before they were ever born because they collective used the wrong tense. Wanted to understand the experience of ultimate oppression. That's why Hitler went to heaven. What a banger of a tweet. Great job, Karlin. What a weird name too. But great job. This is amazing. Amazing. And that's in response to someone saying, LOL, yes, the civilians who get hit by a drone strike on a missed bad target chose to die. So there is no possible way to like spin this and make her look good aside from like, I don't know, you're having a mental episode or something. I'm sorry, I didn't take my Ambien. All right. Yeah, and then she responded to that one with, LOL, I love that this tweet is freaking everyone out. This is a spiritual perspective, people, not a human perspective. I believe that's code for I'm pulling it out of my ass. Or I'm mentally ill. There's a difference between the choices most human beings would make and the choices we make as spiritual beings before we're born. Yeah, shit like this is why I don't fully buy the respect my spirituality or religious beliefs. Like, I'm not gonna always be a dick about it, but like, this is not acceptable behavior. Books have been written about this belief system for centuries. Perhaps get off Twitter and go read. Who needs to get off Twitter? Fuck. This is an amazing package deal we get here. So everyone chooses to die. If you disagree with me, you're forcing your religion on me. That includes the Holocaust, people. That includes the victims of the Holocaust. That's right, 6 million Jews and 6 million other Romani, disabled, gay, trans people, etc., etc. They all fucking chose to die. And the drone strikes. And then you need to get off Twitter. That's amazing. Thank you, Carlin. That's... Oh, look. Every day I grow more and more resolute in my belief that the behavior and opinions of most online political commentators can be explained primarily through mental illness. I think that applies for... So, sometimes something like this seems so patently absurd, I feel like I don't really need to even amount a rebuttal to it. You don't... That's not how death works. You don't choose to die. There's no proof of people having spirits. The soul's not real. We're just a collective conscious of neurons and brain cells, and we're not... If you hit someone in the head hard enough, you can fundamentally change their entire personality. I think that's a pretty good indicator of quite a bit of what's actually going on here. Just because you... I don't know if this is like a genuine belief or not, but I don't know, just because you genuinely believe something doesn't mean it's true. No, the people in the Holocaust did not choose to die. They didn't die because they wanted to experience ultimate oppression. That's fucking insane. That's not how any of it works. All right, we're done talking about Carlin because I really don't want to continue on with this. In her debate with Hunter Avallone over this, she claimed Hitler was an atheist and therefore atheism is responsible for the Holocaust, even though in Mein Kampf he directly states he's a creationist. When you actually like read what the Nazis wrote and everything that they okay, some of the people higher up were like crazy drug addicted psychos, so I don't really care what they were. But by and large, all the rest of the people, and by and large, the majority consensus in Nazi Germany were evangelical Christians. And they don't mention that part very often. They didn't tell me that in history class. Wow. Oh. Did you hear that crack? Oh my god. I've just been... I'm tired. Just a whole week of work. Alright. I think we can move on from Carlin. Don't we? Don't you? Yeah. Well, then again, let's see. How long is this debate with Hunter Avallone? I want to take a drink of Mountain Dew, but I want to keep talking. The curse of being me. Oh, God. Well, here it is. 27 minutes. Do we want to do this? Do we want to do this, or do we just want to move on to Matt Walsh? I kind of want to do this. Went south pretty quickly? Okay, so it just, like, gets into the exciting stuff? Alright, well, if that's the case, then it sounds exciting. Hunter Avalon is, well, I like how, he really comes across as a lot more genuine now than compared to his conservative stuff. I like that. But sometimes some of his debates leaves me a little disappointed. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. 27 minutes. Let's go. I haven't been recording any of this so far because I didn't wanna, but you know, let's take a look. Burning the Bridge of Karlin Borisenko.
Theism beliefs did not lead to anything to do with the Jewish genocide. Second of all,
really?
Second
Hitler
of
held
all,
a belief system, and it didn't have
Karlin,
anything to do with him killing 6 million Jews.
Karlin,
Sure.
you're putting words in my
Okay.
mouth again.
Oh, sure.
I did not say that your belief.
Okay, already from that, that's like, ooh, really bad, really painful, Karlin. What are you doing? Yeah, let's go at regular speed for now, see what happens.
She
Okay.
said, yeah, they do. Everyone who died in the Holocaust chose to die in the Holocaust, but before they were ever born,
Oh, I gotta
because
move my
they
face.
collectively wanted to understand the experience of ultimate oppression. That's why Hitler went to heaven.
Objectively insane behavior. And an insane thing to say.
Oh man, that's a take right there. Holy, that's a take. It's as hot as a fucking oven. All right,
Hunter, you gotta, when you're quoting people like this, you gotta do a funny voice, otherwise you might get clipped out of context as well. For example, let's repeat it again for posterity's sake. Karlin Borisenko. Yes, they do! Everyone who died in the Holocaust chose to die in the Holocaust before they were ever born because they were collective wanted to understand the experience of ultimate oppression. That's why Hitler went to heaven. Say it like that. Also, it's really going to piss Karlin off.
that is a oven hot take right here about the Holocaust, Karlin.
Am I the only one that hates the intros that spoil stuff? Yep! Because turns out that's good for retention because people want to see where it goes and how it leads up to that point.
Hello.
Hello.
Whoa, stereo.
I do not have my video on. I hope that's okay. I'm on my video on stream, so
Where are you streaming?
Twitch.
Okay.
I'm not here to yell at you. Don't worry.
Aw.
Hunter, we have always had an
Aw.
okay relationship, so that's why
I would like to
agreed
yell
talk
at
to you.
her.
Hopefully we can keep it that way, because this is a pretty spicy take we got here.
Oh,
I
no,
am coming
it's
in
not
good
gonna
faith.
work.
I am assuming that
I'm coming in good faith. That's why Hitler went to heaven. Yeah, these go hand in hand.
you have also come in good faith.
I am. Yes, I am.
And I'm happy to answer questions while I
ready.
have my coffee.
All right,
Hell
let
yeah.
me bump the speed up a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I want to start with. Is
We'll
just
slow it
maybe
down
just
if
a
it
lot of questions.
doesn't get anywhere.
So,
Sure.
the first things first, you've probably seen the fact that you're getting a fuck ton of backlash on Twitter.
yeah,
Yes,
People-
I routinely care about getting backlash on Twitter. It's the thing that's at the top of my mind.
Right.
I mean, okay. For some people, like Caitlin Bennett, it is. You know, I don't know.
People are calling this like the worst take they've ever seen.
Yeah,
So,
it's up there.
obviously, now, in good faith, I'm going to say I don't think that what you're referring to right here in this tweet, when you say everyone who died in the Holocaust chose to die in the Holocaust, I don't think what you're referring to is that they literally chose, as if Jews were like, hey, let's get Holocausted, lol. I know that's not what you meant, but what do you mean from this tweet?
We have to start off with an acknowledgement that this tweet was pulled out of context of a larger discussion that I was having. Basically,
We went through the thread a moment ago. It's the context does not make it better. It's kind of weird how some people really cry that things are out of context, and then the actual context is like, this is just as bad. You're just saying out of context because you don't actually have an argument to back it up.
Okay, it wasn't a discussion. I was trolling Christian conservatives. That's
Okay,
what
gotcha.
happened. I was
so
trolling
what's
Christian
the-
conservatives.
what's the
There was a
larger
I
discussion?
don't know about that.
So we have to start with an understanding that there is a difference between how we perceive something on a human level and how we might look at it on a spiritual level. When I say stuff like this, I'm not talking about what I, Karlin Borisenko, as a human being would choose. Of course, I wouldn't choose to be in the Holocaust. That's stupid.
This is insane.
But there are reasons on a spiritual level that we might make certain choices to have certain oppressive experiences in this lifetime. These are two completely different contexts. Now, I was trolling Christian conservatives for a good day and a half over the abortion argument because I think they're being idiots.
Does she explain
And
that? Is she going to explain that? Or, hold on. Maybe I should bump the audio down a little bit for you. Is she going to explain that? Or is this just going to be like something she just keeps repeating? Because I've noticed she does that in some of her other debates with people. She doesn't actually engage with any of the ideas that are being brought up and doesn't engage with the topic. But she keeps saying like weird things like that, like she thinks it gets her out of trying to explain it. And it's like, no, I want you to explain it, Karlin. That's why I'm listening.
I was just trying to piss them off. And so at some point it changed into a spiritual discussion about, looking at like my belief system versus theirs. I'm not a Christian. I've never been a Christian. I have a completely different worldview than most Christians. And so at some point I said,
yeah, and the majority of the world does.
Something like, I think we all make decisions about our life before we come here. I think we all, every single one of us, choose how we die before we come here. Every single one of us. Everyone who's ever lived, everyone who's ever died.
But weren't you using that reasoning to more or less say that fetuses that were aborted chose to be aborted?
Yeah, which I do believe is true.
I can also believe you're batshit crazy. That's my spiritual belief. It's deeply held, and unlike yours, I have evidence to back it up.
I believe on a spiritual level, not a human level. Spiritual level, that's true. I also believe that when women have abortions or miscarriages, there is a more than likely chance that that baby is going to come back in a future baby, the spirit baby.
No, sorry, no evidence for reincarnation, no evidence for spirits or souls or anything of the sort. You can believe it. You can believe whatever you want. It doesn't make it true.
Not the human baby. Not talking about resurrecting zombies.
Right. I guess my issue here is, do you feel like this is a little bit of like a coping mechanism? Like,
no.
It's a lot easier, for example, to believe that somebody who died wanted to die rather than them somehow dying begging for their life.
Decent point.
No, what you have to understand is that in my belief system, you have to take responsibility for every single part of your experience. So just as much as I get to take responsibility for the good parts of my experience and all these amazing things that happen in my life and the fact that I have a wonderful family and home and all these things, I get to take responsibility for that and celebrate that. But it also means I have to take responsibility for the worst parts of my experience, the things that cause me the most pain, the things that hurt the most.
But that's not true, because the good thing...
Taking responsibility for your experiences has nothing to do with any of this.
...is that you're celebrating are based on your own accomplishments. They're worth celebrating. If you're a victim of some kind of atrocity, it doesn't seem that that's your choice.
I believe that on a spiritual level, we are responsible for everything in our life. Everything, the good and the bad. But you can't have good without bad. You can't have hot without cold. You can't have light without dark.
See my point? She's already not actually engaging with the point that's being brought up. She's trying to make it abstract, so she's trying to make it abstract so she can muddy the waters and make it complicated, so you can't really argue against her.
Responsible for everything in our life. It's like
it's like not. It's not smart. It's not slick. It's really obvious what you're doing, Karlin.
Accountability.
Okay, I agree that you cannot have evil, or you cannot have good without the existence of evil and everything there. Sure, but I don't agree with you at all that we need to take responsibility for everything that happens in our life. Again,
but you're allowed not to believe that.
But you're celebrating your accomplishments. Then you're saying you also need to take responsibility for bad things that happen to you? What if you're a victim of something that was because of nothing that you did?
I would argue that there are reasons that people end up in very bad situations, some of which have to do with lessons that they want to learn in this.
Yeah, and like Hunter said, that seems like a coping mechanism.
Lifetime that they made on a spiritual level, not a human level. Level.
I'm sorry, Karlin. No one fucking cares about this spirit bullshit. Maybe spirit science, but that guy's also insane. We live in the real world. We have real things to deal with.
So this
The
is why I'm
concept-
having a big problem with it. Is this? I'm not.
We don't have the same belief system. Like, here's the thing.
But I'm
here's
not
the thing.
accusing you of coping. But
Ow.
I'm just saying this is generally sounds like a cope. So if I have a
So?
grandparent, I'll explain why that's bad. If I have a grandparent,
Okay.
right, it's a lot easier to believe. Or no, I'm sorry. If I have a friend who was shot in the head as
I
they're
don't know.
on their
I don't know, Carlin. Like, if I came over to your house and like just fucking shot you, like, isn't this like take responsibility, Carlin? I'm not gonna do that. That would be against the Twitch terms of service.
knees pleading to live, that feels a lot worse to me than someone committing suicide. Both sad, however, the person that committed suicide wanted to die. They had that desire there that was ultimately fulfilled, so it almost softens the blow. It makes the sadness a little less because at the end of the day, they got what they wanted. They chose this, as opposed to the person begging for their life. This
Hunter,
spiritual
you're making a
thing is setting up-
mistake. You're assuming this person is capable of reason.
makes it so that you are able to essentially put the onus on everyone for everything bad that happens to them.
Yes.
So yes, so the Holocaust victims, well, they
Everything good too. Everything good too.
but the problem with that is, well,
Oh.
then the Holocaust victims.
Hold up, I gotta follow up. Let me. All right, hold on. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad that it happened, I guess, but like they ultimately just wanted that to happen, right? The spirits wanted that to happen.
On a spiritual level, and again, everything that you just said is on a human level. I don't really care if people agree with my belief system. Like, I don't care if you agree with me. But on a spiritual level,
I don't care if you agree with me. Well,
there is a school of thought.
this
that
isn't
says
an agree thing. This is a you're wrong
every
thing.
single person who died. This is something that's been discussed ad nauseum in this.
This actually reminded me of something. Hold up.
I would say, like, first of all, I think it would be good to make it clear to your audience that you received a legal threat from Stefan, and that was relevant to you removing the criticism. But the
Well,
second,
no, because it wasn't. It wasn't because.
All right,
if it
this
were a
is
legal
from-
threat,
Right, this is a Sam Harris thing talking some podcast called Decoding the Gurus. I don't know. We only care about what Sam Harris has to say here.
that I disagreed with, I would have told them to fuck off.
Sure,
It's
sure.
just
I'm not-
It's just like it's very
know-
easy. It's very easy to. I mean, this is something that you can disconfirm in real time with someone.
No.
If you're a Holocaust denier, you deny the Holocaust.
But-
It's a very specific charge.
so yes, but
I don't know whether he's an
okay,
anti-Semite. I don't like there's all kinds of other charges that are adjacent to that.
let
But if he doesn't deny the Holocaust, he's not a Holocaust denier.
Sam, let me make an analogy for you.
Mhm.
Is Brett anti-vaccine?
Well, that's clever but different.
But
I mean, he's functionally
anti-vaccine.
he's anti-COVID. He's anti-COVID vaccine.
Okay, that's a distinction he makes. That's a distinction all
Get
anti-vax
to the
people make. If you
point.
ask them, "Are you anti-vaccine?" They'll say, "No, I'm just
This is all bad, but there's only one point that we care about. Yeah, he's also long-winded too.
pro-safe vaccines. I'm anti this specific vaccine. I've got concerns."
Holocaust denial is such a specific thing. The people who are Holocaust deniers may
Okay, so he's essentially saying Stefan Molyneux is not a Holocaust denier, and even though we whatever, we don't
Claims
give a
like-
shit.
The amount of Jews that died.
this is a lie. It's a
Apart-
lie, foisted by the Jews on the world
Yes,
to
yes.
guilt trip the whole world. Millions of people were not
Sure.
killed.
But in that area of Holocaust denial is the claim that the Holocaust was brought about because of Jewish communists leading, like that this was a reaction
But
to
that's not how. That's not denial.
it. No,
That's just a perhaps an odious belief about one of its causes, or an inaccurate
Right,
belief
so
about
you
one of its
could-
causes, or a half truth that is malignant.
But in the same way, you could
But
say
I'm guilty of this. I am. Take this. Here's another. Here's more evidence of my tribalism. Right. I'm Jewish. Right.
Mm,
I have written that the Jews are in part responsible for the Holocaust. How tribal is that? Now that's part of my denigration of belief of faith-based religion. It's like if the Jews defining themselves as Jews for 2,000 years, insisting upon living insular lives among communities that believe antithetical things about God, and thinking that it's important to marry within their community because of the profundity of their religious beliefs and their unique covenant with God. All of that divisive bullshit is part of the backdrop that gave us the centuries of anti-Semitism and the Holocaust. So yeah, I'm someone who
here's
has
the-
who has who's made Judaism itself somewhat culpable in giving us the Holocaust. Now what am I, a neo-Nazi? What's my tribe?
No, but okay, Sam, here's the difference, right? So Christian identified
Okay, so yeah, that's that. Woo! Maybe. What is it with these people? They just can't help themselves from saying this shit.
Spiritual community. This
I
is
know, I'm
not
just
like
trying to
this is
understand
this is not a concept that I'm pulling out of left field.
That's
There is
so I don't know if I need to say this. No. You want to say it's important to have integration in a society and desegregation. I'll agree with that because that can help make people a lot more friendly and a lot more amenable to each other. But Jesus Christ, the Jews, by remaining insular and separated, were responsible for the whole. What the fuck?
Is a school of thought in the spiritual community that says that every single person in spirit form
That's pretty bad, yeah.
that was in the Holocaust decided to be in the Holocaust. It was an agreement they made in spirit form before they ever came here. Now, why would that happen? Why would that be a thing that anyone would want to experience? It's the most horrific thing that's ever happened, right? Because it gives us experience. Because it's as a collective. Because
I think Carlin's coming off fucking worse than Sam Harris here.
We
That's
believe
pretty
that
bad.
everything that everyone experiences in this human lifetime goes back up into the collective and is something we all have access to. If we have knowledge of the worst possible thing that ever could happen, that helps all of us to develop on a spiritual level.
Yeah,
and it
but we could
also gives
hypothesize-
it also gives us the ability and the information to make sure that something like that never happens again.
Okay, so part of what makes humans really complex and unique is our ability to hypothesize and imagine hypotheticals. We don't need to experience a mass genocide of Jews to understand that that's bad. Humans
Of course
already
we
can
do.
No, we
Of course
don't.
we do, Hunter.
We can already recognize that it's
Can
bad
you
because we have the ability to
imagine what our
to engage
reality
with the
would be like
hypothetical.
right now? Can you imagine what our reality would be like right now if we didn't have the Holocaust to compare it to?
What? But that's not necessarily a good thing. And the big problem here that we have is this.
There's been no shortage of mass death events and genocides throughout human history. The Holocaust was just especially egregious. There would be plenty other things to compare it to.
Mindset, this spiritual thing justifies and basically gives credence to every serial killer, Hitler, all of these people that did bad things. They were actually just doing good things because they were carrying.
No,
See?
no,
Hold on,
don't
that's a good
put
point.
words in my mouth.
I'm not
I
putting
didn't
words.
say
I'm not putting words in your mouth.
You
I did not.
You said you
no, I
did.
didn't.
No, it's not putting words in your mouth. It's an implication that could be derived logically from what you've said. Whether you like it or not, that is how what you said can be interpreted.
I'm not saying that you said
you
this.
did. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Carlin, I didn't
because
say that you said this.
Hunter, stop talking for a second. You said that I said that this was a good thing. I don't think the Holocaust was good. I don't think that serial killers are good. I think it is.
Does Carlin think we're all just very stupid? I think she just might be very stupid.
What is? I think that you cannot have.
Cause put aside how like fucking dumb this is. Also, Hunter, good idea leaving the tweet up in the middle here during this whole thing. That's brilliant. Good. That is
good in life without having bad. I don't think you can experience the best in people without experiencing the worst in people. That's
so
balance.
if somebody
That's
is
just
going
life.
out, so Adolf Hitler, or let's just make a serial killer. Okay, they go in and they kill 3 people in their house. Now, by your reasoning, is it not true that the reason they were killed is ultimately because they made that decision in spirit form before they were born?
Yes.
Okay, so does this not, in some level or another, justify?
So do Jewish people just like all congregate together in spirit form? What is there like a spirit synagogue somewhere that exists like beyond the astral plane, outside of this mortal realm? That's see.
By the acts of the murderer because he was carrying out the desire of the spirits.
Does it justify it? I mean, justify based on what standard? Because on
Based
a
on
human
your
level,
standard,
based
it
on
is
a
justifying
human level, is it okay to kill people? No, that's stupid. Like, why would that person's gonna have karma follow them around the rest of their lives? That person's gonna have mental anguish for the rest of their lives over what they did. On a human level, there's no justification. It's not even about justifying. It's like you did something really bad that disrupted someone else's life experience. It doesn't actually matter if you made the decision in spirit form or not. You're still going to experience the human consequences of making that decision. But in spirit form, is that person going to be judged forever? Is that person going to be hated and cast out to hell? Is that person going to be separated from God? No. It's a completely different standard.
Sure, maybe. I just think that ultimately, by your standards, it does give justification to people like
I don't, and you had to like ruin this all here by saying Hitler went to heaven. Why would you even say that? I was gonna say, I forgot. Put aside the absurdity of this, right? Why would you bring it? Why would you talk about Hitler and the Holocaust like this? This is so obviously like just going to backfire on you. Unless, of course, like you're basically like a goddamn Nazi, right? I mean, yeah, I don't think Carlin is smart enough to understand that, but that's like the only possible, in my mind, that either you're like extremely deranged or you're a fucking Nazi, which like there's plenty overlap, sure, but those are like the only conceivable reasons I can think of for tweeting something like this out.
Adolf Hitler.
Especially this last sentence here.
You're talking about a human level. I'm not.
Because on a spiritual level,
yeah, he's talking about like what's real, and you're not.
It's justified by your standards, right? Because they are carrying out desires of the spirits.
Everything is justified on a spiritual level. Everything. You can have whatever you want.
Met a Holocaust survivor when I was a teenager. Can't imagine thinking she spiritually chose to be in the Holocaust. Listen. Both my grandfathers were in World War II. They'd probably like punch her. They were not above hitting a woman if she said dumb shit like this. This is not. Oh god,
on a spiritual
this is
level.
not acceptable.
I think I want to back up a little bit and just go back to what you said earlier about like the Holocaust happening and sort of us like having something as a point of reference. Like we're able to look at nuclear war, for example. We're able to like that's never happened.
Nuclear war is not as bad as the Holocaust.
I know, but I'm saying that's never happened.
Yeah, it could be.
But we're still able to engage in the hypothetical and be like, okay, this would be bad, so we don't want to do it. We don't need to experience
something is
bad things.
That's wrong. Knowing something is bad and experiencing it and actually experiencing it are two completely different things. Human beings only learn by experience. That's why experience is so important. Human beings, we can think about any hypothetical we want, but until it actually slams us in the face, we aren't going to learn.
That's just not true. I don't think that this is true, and I also think that this is really dangerous because I think that this is ultimately like.
Okay, what war or atrocity has my belief system ever started? You want to talk about dangerous. You want to talk about dangerous.
I mean, you're tweeting every day on Twitter, like within every hour. That's a pretty bad atrocity, if we're being honest.
Let's talk about the Inquisition. Let's talk about the Crusades.
Wait,
let's
I
talk
don't like
about
religion, Carl. I don't like spirituality in general.
But you're insinuating that my belief system is going to lead to a mass atrocity. My belief
no,
system
I'm not.
has
I'm
never
that
led to a mass atrocity.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that your
history of mankind.
I am saying that.
Thank God, because most people are a little more rational than you, Carolyn.
Your belief leads to a level of justification for people to commit atrocities. Because
those people who commit atrocities will experience very real human consequences.
Why don't we go look at
but like you're saying, no one's ever committed atrocities under my belief system. Yeah, because most people don't believe this ridiculous, stupid bullshit. But as let me move my face here. As social climbing socialist here says in Hunter Avalon's chat, you can justify anything under this framework, and this is very true. Social climbing socialist here clearly has quite a bit more political savvy than Carlin does.
Acts of Islam, for example, like a lot of the times these people believe that they're carrying out acts of violence
and
to save those people from their human form or go to Allah or whatever.
Experience human consequences. And I'm going to remind you again, my belief system has never resulted in that. It's never resulted in that because we believe in
you can't just
consequences.
No, hold on. This is bullshit though. You just keep okay. Like I said earlier, she's doing it again. She's just kind of repeating something and just completely sidestepping the point entirely. Not actually addressing what's being said. She does this all the time. She keeps saying my belief system has never led to this. That's bullshit if nobody believes what you believe. If you have some bizarre belief system that's extremely unique, like this one, that everyone who chose to die in the Holocaust chose to die because spiritually, collectively, before they were born, they wanted to experience it. That's something incredibly unique. No one's gonna believe that. You can't just go and say, yeah, it's my belief system's never entered this. Yeah, because no one else believes in this, and no one has any power to implement anything.
Consequence.
Well, no one who does believe in it.
We are fascinated.
No one who does believe in it has any power to implement anything. Sorry, the audio was too loud again, but whatever. You don't care. No one's complaining. She's using video game logic. I love burning villages in games because I know they're fake villages with fake people and fake lives. I'm just thinking on a real level, she works the same way IRL. I don't even do that in video games. I want to save everybody.
That's
Every
what I would
bad
just
thing
have
in
to.
our lives.
I think I would just have to fall back on then what you're saying about the
Unless I can be a cannibal, in which case I am a cannibal.
spiritual choice is a meaningless choice. Then, if I don't remember making the choice, what's the point of the choice?
The point of the choice is that there is a higher. It's a different realm of existence, Hunter. You're not going to remember.
It's a
what you
meaningless realm
decided-
of existence. Then
It's meaningless as a human, but not as a spiritual being. If
it's
you think,
meaningless
like,
to even
that's
think about because
ridiculous.
all this is just a hypothetical that
Oh,
maybe
well,
this happened in like spiritual
It's
form.
funny.
We all
so
chose
one
this.
One of the things that I've gotten heat for is saying that Hitler went to heaven because I don't believe that hell is a real place.
Can you connect it?
I think that hell is a made up. Like,
I don't really
thing
care
to
about the
control
Hitler.
people.
Yes, lose your mind, eat your crew. I've done that many times. I love it. I love it when I see Sunless Sea references.
No. I'm going to make a point without being talked over, please. So, you say it's a meaningless exercise. I don't believe it's meaningless at all because my definition of hell is being separated from God, is seeing myself as separated from spirit form, is seeing myself as separated from God. So for me, it is very much a meaningful thing to think about the higher level spiritual perspective.
I'm
For
sorry.
you-
Let me hear that again, because that's just like insane gibberish. I gotta think. So she mentioned like I got a lot of flack for this last thing. This last sentence here? Does she tie it to anything? I'm starting to question all the cannibalism references. Well, ideally, we should question everything. For example, why can't we eat people? Just a thought.
Meaningless realm of existence. Then
It's meaningless as a human, but not as a spiritual being.
it's
take some
meaningless to even think about
acetaminophen
because
here,
all this is just a hypothetical that
Oh.
maybe
I'm taking some acetaminophen because Carlin is hurting my head.
Well,
this happened in like spiritual
It's
form.
funny.
And we all
so
chose
one
this.
of the things that I've gotten heat for is saying that Hitler went to heaven because
Okay, good. She acknowledges that. Does she tie it to the rest of this? Because I don't understand how these two are connected, unless you're like a Nazi. But let's hear it. I want to hear her tie it together. I don't think she's gonna do that.
I don't believe that hell is a real place. I think that hell is a made up. Like,
I don't really
thing
care
to
about the
control
Hitler
people.
went to
No.
heaven thing.
I'm going to make a point without being talked over, please. So, you say it's a meaningless exercise. I don't believe it's meaningless at all because my definition of hell is being separated from God, is seeing myself as separated from spirit form, is seeing myself as separated from God. So for me, it is very much a meaningful thing to think about the higher level spiritual perspective.
I suppose would you just like make up your own definitions of heaven and hell, you can justify it. But the rest of us don't operate under those definitions, Carlin. You're an adult. You should have the presence of mind to know that.
For you, it might not be. It might not be part of your life. It might not be part of your journey. Maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you will be someday. I wasn't when I was your age.
I understand.
But
that.
to say something is meaningless to you does not mean it is meaningless to everyone.
I'm not saying it's meaningless to you or me necessarily. I'm saying that this choice that you keep talking about, like people who
Mhm.
died in the Holocaust who chose that to happen in their spirit
Well,
form.
to
hold
be
on,
really
in their
clear,
spirit form.
I believe every single person who has ever lived, is living now, or will ever live, chose their death. I'm just being inclusive.
Right, and what I'm saying is
Everyone
that,
knows everyone.
I strongly reject that. I why would I choose to die is the obvious thing. I can tell you, my spirit, I'm not gonna die. No. Fuck that. Death is for betas.
the choice that we made that you're alluding to in our spirit form is a meaningless choice. If we don't remember the spirit form and we don't remember making the choice,
I
the
disagree.
purpose of the choice is completely irrelevant.
I absolutely disagree with you.
So what's the purpose of the choice if you don't even remember making the choice?
The purpose of the choice is to come to life and have the experience and to learn and to grow and then to go back and to review the experience and then to come back and do it again and to do it again and to do it again as many times as you want to.
You don't just think that this sounds
It's like playing Hades. We're gonna escape again and again and again.
Like some kind of a form of like a coping mechanism. Like if you're being tortured and beaten, you're like, well, this sucks, but hey, I must have chosen this in my spirit form. Or like,
People
it sucks
choose
that my
negative
kid
things
was
to happen to
kidnapped
them.
and killed, but hey, I guess I
hang
chose
on,
this in spirit form.
do you learn the most from when good things happen to you or when bad things happen to you?
I don't know. You can probably build character from bad experiences.
Oh, both are pretty good actually. Good or bad, it's not like a one or the other thing.
But that doesn't justify atrocities, murder, rape, or something like that.
You build character through bad experiences. You build it.
Honestly, you learn, my honest opinion, you learn the most from just time and practice and reading, and not necessarily good or bad experiences. You learn the most just from going at things over and over again and constantly slowly improving over time. That's how you get better.
Resilience through bad experiences. The greatest jumps in spiritual development that we have are when the worst possible things happen to us and when we experience the most pain.
No.
I can recognize again that we.
Has anyone ever read Night by Elie Wiesel?
Hold on, wait. You can build character.
Anyone ever read Night by Elie Wiesel?
Carlin.
Anyone ever read The Diary of Anne Frank? Like, I mean, these are not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Elie Wiesel like was in front of you, he'd be like, "You're fucking nut job."
Build character.
These are literally illustrated in books.
You can literally build character from negative experiences.
Holocaust.
Carlin,
Yes.
Carlin, you can build character from negative experiences, yes, but that doesn't mean that those negative experiences are somehow justified. Or haven't you heard like make the best, right? When life gives you lemons.
Again.
Also, I'm pretty certain we have. I guess we might have to. Bit of extrapolating here, but like. I'm pretty certain all the evidence we have for like when you raise kids, the way that kids learn the best is like from positive feedback. Negative feedback often has like negative consequences to it, and kids don't properly learn it through that. Kids don't properly learn through that way. So if we extrapolate that like to the rest of like, you know, human learning, it's not unreasonable to assume we probably learn better from positive feedback. But hey, what do I know?
You are talking about, Hunter, you are talking about a fundamentally different thing than I am. You are talking about a human justification. There will always be human punishment. There will always be human.
Yeah, this lady is the human embodiment of Twitter. Did you see that part, Dusty? Were you here earlier? Like 71,000 tweets. Don't you have like a life? Like I go outside like every day.
So again, it's meaningless then.
And I don't have a Twitter, and we're never going back to Twitter. So if I ever do go back to Twitter, I'm gonna pay someone to run the account for me.
Meaningless.
To you, not to me.
Oh.
I guess then there's just nowhere else.
We are talking about two different things.
Yeah, you can't measure spiritual development, Gene Stoner. Yeah, clever. You can't. It's not something that can be objectively measured because what do you know? What do you know? Spirit stuff isn't objective. How about that?
If you have no interest in understanding different ways of perceiving the world, I can't help you with that.
I cannot imagine perceiving the world in a way that I think that people who died in the Holocaust somehow collectively chose that in the spirit realm.
Well, I can't imagine perceiving the world in which there's a vengeful God that's waiting to smite us at all.
I don't think of that either. I'm not a Christian. I think Christians.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, this is a false dichotomy, Carlin. It's pretty bad. Don't buy it.
I also can't imagine perceiving a world in which there's no.
Pay me, I'll do it, Mr. Attack. Hey, I haven't decided I want to do it yet. Okay. You don't have to wait. Okay. When we do it, if and when we do it, we're gonna open applications. We're gonna accept applications. Okay. We got some work to do before that happens. You know. If I don't decide yet, we'll do it when we hit 10,000 at the minimum. How's that? 10,000 subs. or if we never will go back.
Higher purpose to any of this and no
All right, let's go.
Snuffed out when we die. I can't imagine either of those
That's
things.
That's the most likely thing, I think.
Well, but you're allowed to believe that. But that to me seems like my very definition of hell.
Okay, well, before you were born, you didn't exist. You just didn't.
What is hell? Hell is. No femboys. I was thinking of a punchline. Nothing was coming.
I don't agree with that. I believe that I absolutely did exist as a spiritual being, just not in human form.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's just that I know that we have kind of
Hell is my mother-in-law's house. Yes.
what is it? Irreconcilable differences.
We don't agree.
Here.
We
Yeah,
don't,
these are fundamental
Hunter,
differences. It's just to me-
here's the thing. Here's the thing. This
It's not
whole
just
thing
that
for
we don't
me.
agree, though. It's that this actually does provide a level of justification.
Yes.
Like
Hunter's
think about
right,
the
it
way
In
does.
your, but
No,
that
the way
you would,
that people's
Hunter,
spirits.
Yeah, in the way he views the world, which is like, real, it does provide a level of justification.
we're
Morality.
literally only saying that because you do not understand
That is not
the
true.
belief
I'm
system
saying
that
that
you're talking
people's
about.
spiritual.
I'm sorry.
Carlin,
And this
I
was
am.
the whole basis for this conversation.
Carlin, I'm
Hunter, I did not come on here before I had my
Okay, now see, she's already like ran away from it, but notice that she didn't really tie the Hitler went to heaven part to the rest of it. Aside, the only thing that she did was she came up with a weird definition of hell, being separated from God.
coffee to be yelled at. I
I'm
came
not,
on here to have
you're
a
talking over
conversation.
me.
This whole thing started because
Yeah, you do keep talking over him, Carlin.
I was trying to illustrate emphatically
Ugh.
that people on the internet were not capable of disagreement.
Yeah, you did a good job with. You did a good job.
We are allowed to have different belief systems.
I
We are
know,
allowed
but
to.
that's-
You're allowed to have different belief systems, sure, but you're not allowed to like believe whatever you want without getting criticism for it, without getting flack for it. You're not. Now, I take it a step further. I say you're not really entitled to believe what you want to believe. You're entitled to what you can defend. And if you fundamentally can't defend what you believe in, then what do you really believe in it? What are you doing? If you can't provide a defense for your beliefs, then I have to ask, like, are you just going through the motions? Are you not genuine in your beliefs? Just a thought.
That's why we're
have different
talking about
perceptions
them,
of the
right?
world. What is the First Amendment of the Constitution? Freedom of religion. I'm allowed to believe whatever the fuck I want.
See,
I'm allowed to
People's
believe weird.
when you go back, hot tip for everyone. You just lost the argument, Carlin. When you're in a debate or an argument and you're talking about different belief systems or whatever, and you fall back to the First Amendment, when you fall back to say, I have the right to believe this, you lose the argument. Because at that point, it's no longer about what you believe. You're saying you have the right to believe it, which is like nobody in the room here like disagrees with that. Everyone here is operating off of that assumption. That's why we're having the conversation in the first place. And if you have to fall back to that, you lose. It's like you have nothing. You have nothing to defend your argument anymore.
Spiritual
Shit.
beliefs.
You're allowed to
Do
believe
you think
weird
that
shit.
people who have spiritual beliefs that sometimes influences their behavior
Yeah.
in human form?
Not my spiritual beliefs.
It's over.
Christianity, Sure. Yeah.
You just
Islam,
killed it.
So a general understanding then is that certain levels of spirituality can affect your
You just lost the radical left.
human life.
I think
and
that
so my
certain
hold on, wait,
types
Carlin,
of, I
Carlin,
think that
don't-
certain
please
types
don't
of
talk over
belief
me.
system
Please.
are more likely to result in atrocities than other.
I'm not
And
saying
my belief
result in
system has never,
atrocities.
in the history of humanity, resulted in an atrocity.
Okay, I'm not necessarily saying result.
I mean, you want to go through this. Let's see. If we redefine what atrocities are, we could say that my belief system has never resulted in atrocities. For example, is cannibalism really an atrocity? Yeah, is it though?
Resulting in atrocity here. What I'm getting at is that it provides a level of justification. And I'm going to keep going back to this until I'm able to get my full point out, which is that
Yes.
people's spiritual beliefs can absolutely play a role in influencing their day-to-day behavior. And these spiritual beliefs that you are presenting, not you personally, but the spiritual beliefs that you are presenting,
Look at-
provides a level of
Look
justification
at her eyes. She's like playing Cookie Clicker or something.
for atrocities committed in human form. Because what you're saying is that, well, if all the spirits collectively chose to suffer in the Holocaust,
Yeah.
then Hitler is at some level justified in carrying out the
Then
Holocaust.
give
Yeah.
me a single example in all of human history when someone has used that as a justification for
I don't
committing an
need to.
atrocity.
Remember how I said humans
do
can-
need
I mean, you did because you said he went to heaven.
Need to.
No,
you do need
humans
to. You
can
are the
engage in
one making the
hypotheticals,
argument. You are
remember?
the one making the argument that this is justification. Provide me one single instance in all of human history when anyone who has committed an atrocity has used this specific belief system as justification.
Oh, so it has to be someone who committed the atrocity and not someone who supported it or like tactically supported it or just was neutral about it. Because I'd argue those, like, you're just as complicit if you're one of those groups.
For
I
committing
not-
that atrocity.
need
You
to
just
do
want
that.
really
and
gotta
you
be
do need
really
to do that.
special
That's the
about it.
argument
We're
that
talking
you're
about a
making.
hypothetical
You're making an
here.
argument that's roughly akin to saying, calling communism just hasn't been tried. Like, are you?
See? Yeah. I don't care about you. You're not Peter Parker. Let's hear that again. Because this is really stupid argument.
Atrocity.
Need
Just
to do
that. I don't need to do that.
Hunter,
No, I
because
don't.
that's the argument
We're talking about a hypothetical.
You're making an argument that's roughly akin to saying communism just hasn't been tried. Like,
again, you lost the argument, Carlin. You're losing again. You're falling back to an argument that has nothing to really do with your arguments. You're accusing him of saying, "Oh, communism has never been tried," or you're making a comparison. Like, that's not what's happening. You're just repeating another argument someone else already thought out.
Are you kidding me?
I'm
Please.
posing you a potential issue with this mindset, and I'm asking you if you think that that's possible.
Again,
it has.
She's not even engaging with what he's saying.
Not happened
It's
in all
just
of
so
human history,
sad.
so I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Yeah, I guess this just kind of goes back to what I was saying before, is how, like,
If you could
you're
provide
able
me
to
a
engage in
single
hypotheticals,
example
right? Like,
in all of human history of it happening,
it
then I
doesn't
would
have
say
to be
yes,
a huge
maybe
genocide.
It could
It's this mindset right here that's giving some kind of a level
be.
of
Provide me
justification.
one single example in all of human history
Your
when it's happened.
tweet, your tweet, Carlin.
Oh,
is providing...
my tweets are an atrocity?
No,
Are my
hold on, no,
words
no, no.
I mean, yes, they are an atrocity, if we're being completely honest.
I didn't say atrocity, I said justification.
Violence?
I did not say atrocity. I said justification. Because if you
Oh,
believe
the
that all
fake
the spirits
laugh.
collectively chose to suffer in the
God.
Holocaust, then Hitler is...
And look at the body language. She knows she's getting blown the fuck out.
some
I
level
believe that
justified in
every
carrying out those
single person chooses their life experience. Every single one.
That's
every single
fine.
one.
But then that also gives a level of justification to people that commit heinous acts,
And
right?
yet no heinous acts have ever been committed in the name of this belief system in the entirety of
See,
human history.
that's not what he's saying, though. Let's play that back again.
That's
every single
fine.
one.
But
Let's
then
hear what
that
it says. See?
also gives a level of justification to people that commit heinous acts,
And
right?
It gives a level of justification for people who commit. Here again.
Every single person chooses their life experience. Every single one.
That's
every single
fine.
one.
But then that also gives a level of justification to people that commit heinous acts.
Okay. It gives a level of justification for people who commit heinous acts. Okay? That's what he's saying. Your tweet says, "Oh, that's a good face." That's a really good face. We can use that in the thumbnail. Face! Take a picture of the face right there. Okay. All right, let's repeat that again. Hunter said, this provides a level of justification for people who commit heinous acts. That's the argument. Okay. What does she respond to that with?
And yet no heinous acts have ever been committed in the name of this belief system in the
No heinous acts have been committed in the name of this belief system. That's not what he said. That doesn't address what he said. He said it provides a level of justification. Not that it doesn't mean people can or cannot provide something or commit acts in the name of this belief system. He just said that it provides a level of justification for it, which is something fundamentally different. Like, are you like not capable of understanding this, or are you intentionally avoiding the point? What is happening? I don't know anymore.
entirety of human history, and you cannot give me one example of when that's happened. I can give you an example of when heinous acts have been committed in the name of Christianity. I can give you an example. I can give you, because this started as trolling Christians, so we're going to keep on topic. I can give you an example of when heinous
trolling Christians, huh? Is that what this is?
Committed in the name of Islam? I'm not either. I can give you examples of when heinous acts have been committed by communists in China in the name of their religion, which is communism.
Well, that was a dumb sentence to say out loud, Carlin.
I can give you an example of when heinous acts have been committed in the name of Black Lives Matter in the United States. I cannot.
Is that a religion? She probably thinks it is.
Give you one single solitary example
of
when my belief system has resulted in a heinous act on any mass scale, and you
just
can't.
If your belief system hasn't resulted in some kind of a genocide or something, doesn't mean it's a good belief system. Okay, so this is a really weird thing. Second of all, just if I don't have an example.
And by the way, Hitler was an atheist, wasn't he?
Second of
like, that's a pretty low bar. Oh god, she's gonna get to this part. That is a really low bar to set for yourself, Carlin.
Okay, so this is a really weird standard to set. Second of all, just
if
I don't have
yeah. Here we go. Here's another thing up here. Purple maggot. Carlin, you're literally currently brushing off the horrors of the Holocaust. We're not talking about committing an act. We're talking about justifying everything as chosen after it happens. You're right, Purple Maggot. However, it does not appear like Carlin is capable of understanding what you mean. Up until this point, Carlin has not actually engaged with the point that Hunter's bringing up. So, what does she believe in? Oh, do you see the tweet in the background here? This is what prompted all this. Pretty bad stuff.
And by the way, Hitler was an atheist, wasn't he?
Second
wasn't
of all,
Hitler an atheist?
I don't
Pretty sure
know.
Hitler was an atheist.
I don't know if he was or
Pretty
not.
sure Hitler
Because
was an
again, I'm
atheist.
not saying that
Your
this has
belief
happened.
system resulted in the Holocaust.
I'm not
It
saying
was
that this has
atheist, therefore
happened.
your belief
I'm
system is justified.
Oh, that's a cringe way of.
Carlin,
Ooh.
you know, it's not really very fair to just talk over someone if you're trying to have
You're falling apart. Oh my god.
a conversation
Well,
with them.
you know, this is I'm playing by the rules you set, dude. I came into this conversation with good faith, ready to have a.
I am
nice
being
smoke-
Oh, she's
extremely-
mad.
You're not
You're the
letting
one
me answer
saying that my
questions or ask
belief
questions.
system has justified something that's never happened. When I
No.
can point to the
You're
Holocaust
putting
and
words in
say
my
that
mouth
Hitler
again.
Hitler was an atheist,
You're
and
putting
therefore
words in
your
my
mouth.
belief
Oh, man.
system justified the
First of all,
Holocaust.
by your wait,
Congratulations.
okay, do I get
your
a chance to
belief
talk?
system, your belief
All
system
right, do you just
justified the
want to?
murder
Do you want me
of
to
6
just mute
million
you so you can
Jews.
finish
Cheers.
conversing? Like, again,
Ooh.
Hitler's atheism beliefs did not lead to anything to do with the Jewish genocide. Second of
Oh
all,
really? Oh really?
Second
Hitler
of
held
all,
a belief system, and it didn't have
Carlin,
anything to do with him
you're
killing
putting
6 million Jews.
Carlin,
Sure.
you're putting words in my
Okay.
mouth again.
Oh, sure.
I did not say that your belief
Yikes. Oh my god. On what planet was Hitler an atheist? Nah. Yeah, no. That's just something, like, it's kind of weird that she would do that if she's like, she says she doesn't like Christian conservatives. But that is, that's an argument I usually only hear from evangelicals who are like identical to being Nazis. Not to say evangelicals are Nazis, but there are certain evangelicals that basically are. And this is an argument that's often only used by people like that who are already really identical to it. But, you know, they already had the conclusion, Hitler bad, therefore I can't be like him. He must be an atheist because atheists are also bad. And that's the entire extent of the thought process. And now look at Carolyn's, oh God. Oh, she's so mad.
provided a justification, past tense, I said it's possible that it can provide a justification. And that's what one of the dangers of this belief system seems to be, that you provide a level of justification for people that are committing heinous acts. Just if that's never happened on a large scale on a fucking genocide, doesn't mean that this is not a potential problem with this belief system.
Well,
so
unlike
you are
atheism-
actually being bad faith
unlike
right now by demanding I
atheism-
provide this like hyper-specific
unlike
thing and then saying Hitler
atheism-
was motivated by atheism to commit the
Unlike
Holocaust.
atheism, there has not ever been one single mass atrocity in human history attributed to my belief system. Hitler was an
Is
atheist.
this all you have?
She just keeps repeating it, see? Like I said at the very beginning, she doesn't actually engage with what's being said. She doesn't actually understand any of it. She just repeats this shit and sidesteps the actual point. That's so like it's stupid, but it's also like sad. This is like a real person with a brain.
Atheism justified the Holocaust, therefore your belief system
Congrats,
justified the
you've never done
Holocaust more than mine.
Congrats, I guess you've never done the Holocaust. It's just that what
No. Sorry to tell you, Hitler wasn't an atheist. Some of the people who are higher up in the Nazi party believed weird, crazy shit, but atheism was not really a common thing. And by and large, rest of the Nazi party, evangelical Christians.
you
Let's
seem
play
to be
by
getting
the
at
rules
right
you
here is
said,
ultimately
Hunter.
that they are making a decision
Like,
to be holocausted on spiritual
Yeah.
form, which in the only
They're
logical
making
follow
everyone
through.
makes every decision.
Yes, and the only logical
spirit
follow
form.
through there is your desires are being filled out by someone else, even if it's a heinous act, which provides a level of justification. That is what I'm getting at. That's it. I would just like you I would like it if you were be able to admit that.
Hitler was an atheist. Atheism justified the Holocaust.
Just
All right,
repeat.
well, I can
Oh
definitely
my
say
god.
that this conversation has
NPC.
resulted in a genocide of my brain cells. So thank you.
Better than a genocide of 6 million Jews, I suppose.
If you actually
Oh.
think that was any kind of a dub or a gotcha or anything at all, it wasn't. Like you,
Oh,
you acted in
okay.
bad faith.
That was
Carlin.
pretty
I was actually
bad.
trying to be good faith, but you acted in bad faith.
Hunter, at no point in this discussion.
Hunter came in incredibly good faith, incredibly chill, and he exhibited incredible patience trying to get the point across to you, Carlin. Wow. That's incredible. Like, it's not really a surprise he got hired by PragerU.
Discussion, did you even try to understand the belief system?
Hitler
If you
also
were
drank
acting
water.
in
He
good
breathed
faith,
air. Dude, holy shit. I can't believe that went so badly. People may not realize it, but the divergence of opinion between Pell and Dawkins reflects deep divisions among historians themselves
There we
as
go.
to what the Nazis believed about religion.
There we
so
go.
just so you guys know, the fact that Carlin
He
came
pulled
in here
it
was like,
up.
well, he was a fucking atheist and your beliefs caused that, bitch, when this is actually something that's hotly contested, that is the definition of bad faith.
A lot of aside from Hitler himself, a lot of other like higher ranking Nazi people, like a lot of them seem to believe in some weird, freaky occult shit. Some of them seem to believe that they themselves were like gods. It's not. They were drug addicts and they were not rational, so I wouldn't put too much stake in what they individually believed, if we're being honest. Like I've said, you know, majority of the people of the people who were in the Nazi Party were evangelical Christians, but like I said, I wouldn't put too much stake in what the people higher up believe.
Holy shit! Now she's just lying. Can someone help me, please? Chat. Anybody?
Just got him to admit the Holocaust was justified by atheism. Suck on that. Is that really what you think happened, Carlin? Oh my god.
Help me. When did I...
Looks like... Ha! Carlin, you say your belief system has never brought about a genocide. Curious, what happened to your brain cells? Ha! Got him!
Did I say that it was justified under atheism? This is like deranged. He never said that, and his point of the debate was because the Jews wrote in the spirit realm they wanted to die in a Holocaust, it justifies Hitler's actions because he's doing the work of the spirit realm. Yes, thank you, Shy Doomer. Yes. I was literally explaining to her how a hypothetical could lead to
that was amazing.
to a justification for these kind of things. I got Hunter to admit the Holocaust was justified by atheism?
Whew.
Like, I don't even know what I said that could be construed as that.
Nope.
I literally told her to stop lying about me in the DMs, and then she responded that that's what happens when you don't act in good faith. So it sounds like she's admitting to lying about me and is now acting in bad faith because of it.
Wow. Wow. What a shock. A person who voted Trump and worked for PragerU would say such a thing. You know, shocked Pikachu
Are you
emoji.
kidding me right now? I don't care. Fuck it. You want to play bad faith? I'll play bad faith back. I don't care if I leak DMs. It's not like there's anything.
Ooh, ooh, he's leaking DMs. Ah, spicy. Stop lying about me. Also, it's contested whether or not Hitler was an atheist. A nice own. That's what happens when you don't act in good faith. Karma's a bitch. Is karma the bitch here, Carlin? Is it karma? That was clever.
But yeah, that way you know I'm not just making shit up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell.
Good
so you
shit.
get notified when I drop a new video.
That's some good shit, Hunter. Is there more to this? No. Okay. That was good. I'm glad I watched that. Woo. Just so, here's the receipts. You get a like. Good shit. Good stuff. Good stuff, Hunter. I liked it. Or is it you, Carlin? I didn't need to say it. It was implied. See, that's sly. That's smart. Then again, you know, then again, maybe if you didn't say that or I didn't say that, she wouldn't have picked up on that. She wouldn't have picked up on that implication. That's possible. Oh my god. She spiritually chose to get home. That's really good. She spiritually chose to get owned, so why is she complaining? That's amazing. I love it. Oh man, my head. Well, he titled that video Burning the Bridge with Carolyn Borisenko. Was there ever a bridge to begin with? I don't know if they were like friends or whatnot. Fuck. When's the acetaminophen gonna kick in? Because that won't hurt. CGUHS? What? It must have been friendly prior. I think they had a discussion at some point. I think they had another discussion at some point in the past, but I don't know if they were like friends, right? Or if there was a bridge. Yeah, see. Talking with Dr. Karlin Borisenko. He did a good convo with Karlin Borisenko. That's funny. He put doctor in the previous two, but not doctor in this one. Ha. Is she really a doctor, or is that... She's not like a doctor of medicine. She's like... Does she say in her Twitter bio? That would be funny. Psychologist? Org psychologist? Well, Jordan Peterson was a psychologist. So it doesn't mean much. Oh, she spiritually chose to have a PhD. Oh, is that the new... Oh my god, it's the same joke. It's the one joke. It's the attack helicopter joke. Ah! God, she tweets so much. Yeah, I would just... I'm serious. I would hire... Instead of going back to Twitter, I would hire someone to do it for me. And it's just like, hi, yeah. You're in charge of my Twitter account. Never tweet anything. Just every so often we're only gonna follow one person at a time, and we're gonna make it funny who we choose to follow. Like this month, it's Justin Bieber. Next month, I don't know. Who would be funny? Someone K-pop or something. And the next week it's like the I don't know, like the official Twitter account of like Yellowstone National Park or something. It's just random things like that, and only like one at a time. That would be funny. And then we never ever tweet. But like DMs are open now. But then we could have like DMs that are open and whatnot, and then it's like, well, you know, you're getting danger pay for having open DMs, and then you relay it back to me. You know, someone's like, hey, I want to debate you, and then it's like, okay, I'll tell Zach, and then, but you know, someone might be like, hey, have a Rickroll, and you get danger pay. Oh my god, she's still tweeting about this. Someone asked if this was a knitter. It seems like Karolyn Borisenko, most dangerous knitter alive, is her bio. Or maybe, I don't know. I guess we can bump this back down here. I'm going to help you guys out because reading really seems to be a problem. Yeah, let's open it in the bigger tab. If someone chooses something to happen before they are born, that means they're not choosing it based on human considerations. It's a spiritual belief. Everyone chooses everything. Everything. And she underlined before they were ever born. Do you not... Reading seems to be a problem. I think thinking seems to be a problem. You know, maybe a rational person would be like, yeah, this is insane. And then, nope, I'm just gonna keep repeating it. Boris Johnston. I would do this job or need to buy a PlayStation Vita. Well, we're not at the point where we're ready to hire someone for that, okay? When the day comes, maybe you'll be taken into consideration. Okay. If not, well, we'll see what happens. I make no promises for anything, and yeah. More, it might be funny if I just like hire like a company to do it. There are companies that manage like social media relations. It could be pretty funny if it's like, yeah, I hired this LA firm to do it. And then, one that like hires like the celebrity social media. Oh my god. She just keeps fucking tweeting about it. Why? Why would you do this? I would disappointing. So disappointing. All right. Well, that's I think we can move on from Carlin now. Is it time? I think it's time. I think it's time. For Matt Walsh. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. We're gonna come back, and then we're gonna cover Matt Walsh and the children's book. That's that. I couldn't stay on Twitter literally all day. Back when I was on Twitter, I wasn't on there all day. Some of these people, like, Christ, what are they doing, right? Okay. Let's mute that. We're going to... All right, shut up. Matt Walsh here in the blurry. We're gonna cover Matt Walsh. Cause what he wrote a fucking children's book. Oh my god. That's incredible. And then yeah, well, I think that'll be probably it for today. We'll be back. I return. Chair. Who likes the chair? Chair. Okay. See, is there anything in chat worth responding to? Not that I see. Okay. I just googled Carolyn Poroshenko. Second was, yeah, Hulk. That's what she's currently trending for, it would seem. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, so Matt Walsh is an alien, and apparently he wrote a children's book. Johnny, can we get the thumbnail? Let me see. Is this in the suggestions tab? It is in the suggestions tab. Matt Walsh did a children's book, and it's super transphobic. Johnny the Walrus read along with Matt Walsh. All right, Matt Walsh. Let's see what you've got for us. I already hate it. I hate it.
Okay. Hello, boys and girls. My name is Matt Walsh.
Is he serious? He is a creepy looking dude.
I am a children's author, and I've written a book called Johnny the Walrus. This book is all about identity and imagination.
All right.
What is identity? Does anyone know what identity?
We know where this is going. God, they really only have the one joke, don't they? The attack helicopter. Now it's a walrus. That's amazing. I bet he said boys and girls deliberately to exclude envies. Well, I think we can overlook that. Considering we're probably about to get much, much worse.
Identity means?
No.
These kids
you know
are
what
not
identity?
interested.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
It's who you are, right? That's what
Who's
it means.
this?
Now,
Who's this old creepy guy talking to us?
who likes to pretend to be things? Is there anything you like to pretend to be? How about in the back?
I like to pretend to be
A ninja. That's a good one. What about
Oh,
you?
I just noticed something. Hold up. That's like a George Bush plushie in the background there. Why is that? Why is that here? What? That's amazing. What? I love it. Look. Look at these kids. They're just not interested. This kid behind me is like just staring at the wall. What's on the ceiling? I love it.
A ninja. That's a good one. What about you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we all like to use our imagination. Sometimes I use my imagination. I pretend to be a monster. I chase my kids around because I'm big and ugly, so I could be a monster.
I don't think you need your imagination for that, Matt.
That's what this book is about. It's all about a boy who pretends to be a walrus. He identifies as a walrus, and his mom's a little silly. She takes it seriously and thinks he really is a walrus. That's silly, isn't it?
So what is this thing doing on the floor?
We don't have to worry about that. We're going to read the book now. Okay. Johnny's a boy
Why did they leave that in?
with a big imagination.
Yeah.
One day
let's
he's a
do it.
dog, the next day a crustacean. It's like a crab or a lobster. One morning he came downstairs barking and clapping.
Oh, I see. A lobster. Gotta get them young, right? Gotta recruit them into the lobsters.
Wood spoons for tusks and sock fins a flapping. He had spoons in his mouth. He was pretending to be a walrus.
Yeah.
I'm Johnny the Walrus, he said with a roar. The wood floors my...
I hate the feeling of like This is gonna sound so gay when I say it out loud. I hate the feeling of wood in my mouth. I mean, like a wooden spoon. It feels terrible. What is this? Read that tweet of his I sent in the suggestions. You'll be even more confident keeping him away from his children. From children. All right? What do we got? Oh, this is a few years old. The pedophile scandal in the Catholic Church is not a pedophile scandal. The vast majority of victims are post-pubescent teens and young men. The real problem in the church that everyone sees and few will say out loud, gay priests. What the fuck? The media has been trying to separate homosexuality from the Catholic Church scandal for years. This is nonsense, of course. The problem started precisely when they began admitting large numbers of homosexuals into the priesthood. As an example, the latest bigwig to be exposed is Cardinal McCarrick. He was accused of assaulting a child. Most of the stories that have come about him involve sexual relationships with seminaritans. That ain't pedophilia. That's sussy. FBI adding another to the Matt Walsh file. True. 4 hours ago. Did this this must have gotten retweeted by someone big recently. I don't know why this is. That's fucking weird. What the fuck? Okay, I think the only okay, I think in his mind he's trying to say gay people are inherently I don't know, predatory. It's not true, but that seems to be what he's trying to draw. More what's more likely, what's more accurate? Sometimes leadership roles attract people with predatory behaviors. Churches are leadership roles, at least in many communities. And sometimes when you have a leadership role, you can get away with stuff for a while. A lot of times predators don't really care about the sex and gender of the victim, especially in the Catholic Church, so it seems. The sex and gender of the victim is often just kind of secondary, if it's even relevant at all. It's more so about the power being exerted on someone else. And, well, you know, it seems like they have a lot. I'm not super familiar with like the Catholic Church and how it's like works normally, but it seems like there's a lot more like young boys that like participate in the, I don't know, the church activities or whatnot. It seems like young boys are more expected to do that stuff than young girls are, and that kind of makes them, you know, here a present possible victim, and you know, kid leave their parents alone. Parents leave the kids alone with them. So yeah, here we go. There you go. Also, you should never just say that ain't pedophilia. Yeah, it is. Don't do that. Don't say that. Never say that. You instantly come across as some weird Matt Walsh-like person.
Ocean. The carpet's my shore. He's swimming around like a walrus. Isn't that silly? Johnny's mom loves her son's make-believe time.
Also, don't think about appreciate you saying sex and gender are separate. It's really good stuff and subtle. Well, it can be an important distinction, especially when someone like Matt Walsh is trying to call it, trying to make it a thing about gay people. Ugh.
That's silly.
I am grossed out. I'm so grossed out by this guy.
Johnny's mom loves her son's make-believe time.
Oh, one more thing. Hold on.
Walrus.
Let me
Isn't
say
that
it again.
silly? Johnny's.
Please don't do this. Okay, I am not a parent. I don't have kids of my own. I have a cat. I have a baby who's a cat. And he cries all the time anyway. That's enough. Enough crying for me, aside from the crying I do. Please don't take pictures of your kids like that and like post it on the internet. Please don't do that. Please, he's dressed as a walrus. It's nice to save for like, you know, posterity and show years later. But like, I'm assuming, you know, a picture with a cell phone is probably going to get posted on the internet. Yeah, we can see in the next frame here.
His mom loves her son's make-believe time. You're Johnny the Walrus till you change.
See? See? Emojis. Yeah, she's posting it. Please don't do this. Don't take pictures of your kids and put them on the internet. When I was young, the internet was like still kind of a new thing. And this social media wasn't really a thing. I'm so glad there are like no pictures of me doing dumb shit out there. You know, aside from everything I've done with this channel and everything I did at college and everything I did working in theater, and I'm glad there's no dumb shit of me. When you ignore all that, oh man, I don't think that can be good for your kids. All right, but let's
Change
carry
your
on.
mind, Mommy says. But Johnny's mom's phone said it's not just pretend.
So far, hold up though. Aside from that, so far, this seems like a supporting parent. I like it. Even though it's just a kid
Mommy
doing
says.
whatever this is.
But Johnny's mom's phone said it's not just pretend. So she went on her phone, and there are people telling her that this isn't pretend. He's really a walrus. Only a bigot would say that. How dare you offend? What's a bigot? Anybody know? The mean.
It's like when you need like to fill your bucket with water and you walk up to the wall and you turn it. It's a bigot. No, it's a spigot.
Person, right? Mommy was told to take John for a checkup.
Wait, really?
The mean person, right? Mommy was told to take John for a checkup.
Okay.
All these people are holding signs.
Acceptable.
Johnny is a real walrus, one sign says.
Johnny is a real walrus. Let Johnny transition. Stop anti-walrusism. Human walruses are real walruses. Christ. This is what you think of trans people, Matt? Like, that's also kind of sad. Like for you as a person, that this is like what's in your heart. Even when I was younger, like really young, and I didn't fully understand what trans people were, I never was like this.
Human walruses are real.
Also, you know, purple hair. Yeah. Whoops! I hit the wrong part of the thing. Where are we?
And there are people telling her that this is Johnny the walrus, not really a walrus.
Let's go.
A real walruses.
Human walruses are real walruses. That's like saying, I think that's Matt Walsh's way of saying, like, trans women are real women. I think that's the equivalent here. Which they are, but Matt Walsh most definitely disagrees. Oh my god, these kids are just not here for this. Wow. That's amazing. Do you think the kids are like, you're creepy?
Let Johnny transition, all these people are saying. You'll need to eat worms and to put on gray makeup. The worms.
Oh boy. This is astounding. Pink hair. A pink-haired doctor. University of Doctoring, woke doctor, blue check mark. The art is kind of bad, but it's okay. For a children's book, it's okay, aside from this dumb shit. Yeah, walruses don't eat worms, they eat fish. The worms give you whiskers, the gray blends you in. Hey, you know, this is actually funny because there actually is a movie about a guy who turned into a walrus. Let me pull it up. It's from, what's his name? Kevin Smith. Yeah! Tusk. This is... It was like a horror comedy. It was, well, it was something. The story is this guy who's like a podcaster or something. He goes to visit some creepy guy's house, and then the guy like knocks him out and then starts doing surgery on him to turn him into a walrus. It's bizarre. Significantly better movie than what we're watching here.
Give you whiskers, the gray blends you in, the doctor says. And a simple procedure cuts feet into fins. The doctor...
Okay, so... I don't know how else to say this. This shows that Matt Walsh here does not actually have an understanding of the treatment that we give transitioning people, especially children. For starters, just a simple thing. This might be a shock to Matt Walsh, very much looking like the villain in Tusk. Actually, let's pull up the villain. Let me see if I can find him. Oh. Okay, kinda. Not same. I'm gonna have to scroll sideways here. Yeah, similar energy, I think. Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. Okay, shocking thing for Matt Walsh to learn. We do not give trans people worms. At least when I last checked, we don't. If the science has changed, please let me know. Next, for an obvious thing here, you need to eat worms and put on gray makeup. Simple procedure cuts feet into fins. Generally speaking, kids don't. Kids who are transitioning are usually not given hormones. At least not when they're as young as Johnny is here. That usually comes at a much later date. And the surgery here, he's talking about. See? Oh no, it's so scary. A simple procedure cuts feet into fins. You usually got to be 18 to go through physical surgery, transitioning surgery. So I know it's really scary to imagine kids going through it when they don't know better, but that's not how the procedure is done.
Procedure cuts feet into fins. The doctor wants to...
Not that, I know. When you just hate trans people, though, right? That's not how your brain works. Actually, trans people are literally forced to eat worms. Oh, really? Are we certain? Are we certain that's how it is? Or does Matt Walsh just eat worms all the time and he thinks that that's like a normal thing people do? Or is he like, he's like an alien, so it maybe he just doesn't understand, Earth customs. That's a possibility.
It's a cut into Johnny
and no, it's not. Worms are not an STD, Hal Malcolm. That you're thinking of crabs. That's
him into a walrus.
Look at
It's gross eating worms, Mom. They're all so dang twitchy. He doesn't want to eat worms.
Worms are bad for you. I thought I
A funny thing to say here. There is, when I was young, a long time ago, when I was a wee lad of, I don't know, 7 or 8, I had to read a book called How to Eat Fried Worms. Yeah. I remember reading this in like 3rd grade and like thinking this is kind of gross. But like the kid was like dared to eat a worm every day for 15 days. The winner gets $50. Oh god, I might throw up. But by the end of it, he's like, you know, these are just bugs. They're not really that gross. I would strongly recommend all of you watching, though, please do not eat worms. Do not eat random bugs that you see. A lot of bugs out there, depends on what they are. Worms are usually okay, but I wouldn't try it anyway. But a lot of bugs actually contain parasites in them that are harmful to humans. It's usually not a problem if you like cook it properly, but I would advise like not eating bugs. Okay, please don't. That's just not good. Don't do it. Unless you like, you know, you cook it properly. And hey, you know, they say cricket meat is really efficient. I mean, if you really want to, like, be my guest. I believe cricket meat is probably a lot more ethical than, you know, cow and pig. Crickets are pretty stupid. Anyway, where are we at? Let's go.
They're all so dang twitchy. He doesn't want to eat worms.
Worms are bad for you. I thought I didn't eat worms, but I did.
Oh, my man! Let's play that again. This kid is gonna go places.
Gross eating worms, Mom. They're all so dang twitchy. He doesn't want to eat worms.
Worms are bad for you. I thought.
All right, hold up. I gotta see this. This kid is amazing.
Want to eat worms?
Worms are bad for you. I thought I didn't eat worms, but I did.
What?
That kid. Oh my god, I love that kid. Oh, that's amazing. When I was a little kid, I would eat bugs sometimes. Not worms, but like whatever bugs I could like reach. But I was like at an age where I didn't understand what bugs were. That's a kid said a funnier sentence than Matt Walsh has ever said in his life. Yes. And that he does. What's so great is that he didn't even understand how funny he was being. That makes it even better. Kids say the darndest things sometimes. Cheap copy of Trevor Talks to the Kids, just not funny. I'm not certain what that is, but yeah.
Spoons kind of hurt, and the makeup is itchy. Deep down, Johnny's mom knew that something was wrong. Look at Johnny. He's dressed up like a walrus, but he's not having a fun time. But she felt so much pressure, she just went along. The internet people...
So did Johnny, like, want to do this? That's because when kids and people in general are transitioning, that's like the fundamental, the main fundamental thing. It's like, do you really want to do this? And if the answer is no, then it's like, okay, you don't have to. If the answer is yes, then okay, yeah. You should be encouraging it when people want to transition. But if they don't want to, if they just want to, like, you know, dress kind of femme, I say this because we're talking about Johnny here. But if you just want to, like, just dress kind of femme or dress differently, that's not inherently transitioning either. So that's perfectly fine to encourage that without doing fucking worms. My God, you really had to reach there, Matt Walsh.
People knew just what to do. She went back to the internet to look for answers. Never.
Oh, why does kids you know Trevor talks to kindergartners about 9/11 trutherism. Oh no. Yeah.
Never a good idea.
Johnny's getting waterboarded. Are they Yes, they are forcibly transing Johnny. That's the point Matt is trying to make here. What
Back to the internet went along. The internet people knew just what to do. She went back to the internet to look for answers. Never a good idea.
I don't know if these kids are smart enough to... if these kids are old enough to be smart enough to say that.
And mommy was told to take John to the zoo. Now she's going to take her son to go live at the zoo like he's a real walrus.
I don't want to live at the zoo.
When Johnny arrived, the walruses grunted. And the mommy
That seemed kind of detached from what was going on.
says, "My boy's a real walrus. His growth was just stunted." I mean, she really thinks this kid is a walrus.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. In the movie Tusk, that's what happens at the end. He's turned to a walrus, and he doesn't get turned back. They just leave him at the zoo, and that's where he lives. It was what a movie. Matt Walsh, did you draw inspiration from Kevin Smith? Because Kevin Smith would fucking hate you.
But it's not.
No. The zookeeper thought,
Kid doesn't know.
What's she talking about? Ma'am, that's just a boy with wood spoons in his mouth. Now he's the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. And he has, it's him. It's Matt Walsh with the name tag. Wow, this guy's drawn a lot more muscles than you have, Matt Walsh. What's going on there?
Boy with wood spoons in his mouth. Now he's the voice of reason. But if I believe that, they'll say that I'm phobic. Protecting your son, ma'am, is what's most heroic.
Oh, man. That face when you don't have an argument or understanding against trans people, you just really don't like them. So in order to justify it, you have to write a whole book in which you're the hero. But you're not really that smart at writing, so you have to make it a children's book.
At last, Johnny's mommy was able to see that Johnny's not what he's pretending to be. Now mommy ignores the mean things on her phone, while Johnny pretends he's a bird flying home. The end.
Oh boy. I have a feeling Matt Walsh does not ignore the mean things on his phone. I feel like he probably spends way too much time on Twitter. I'm gonna look him up.
Thank you.
That's it?
No, I just sat down and wrote it.
There's another one.
There's another one there. We got a bunch of them. They're gonna be all over the place soon enough. You can ask your parents to buy it for you.
There it is! That's right, kids! Give me your lunch money!
Is there a particular ending we're looking for here, or just...
Oh, that's awkward. Oh, God. Could you, like,
So I've got
Everything he does is weird. Yeah, 53,000 tweets. Christ, I never even reached that. At least his audience would be able to read it. I think that's a good,
essay written.
That's a good way to end this. All right. All right, we're done with the segment. I got nothing to say to that. I have nothing more to say to that. That was amazing. Oh, wait, no. No, wait. There is another thing I have to add to this. In case you want to feel like mad, because you should be mad at these people. Oh boy, here we go. Let me look this up real quick. Amazon bestsellers in LGBTQ plus books. Number 1, Johnny the Walrus by Matt Walsh. Why is this an LGBT book? I don't know. Editorial reviews. Ben Shapiro. I've read it more than once. A very important piece of literature. Michael Knowles. I've actually read the book and it's hilarious. Tucker Carlson. Yo, if Tucker's praising you, like, you have royally fucked up somewhere along the line. Doesn't have that many reviews. You see 28. God, maybe I need to write children's books. I mean, if Matt Walsh can do it, I can definitely do it. How do you set it as like an LGBT book? What criteria gets you in the LGBTQ category? See, it's funny because a lot of these other books are like, okay, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo? I have no idea what that means. The Song of Achilles? Achilles is kind of portrayed to be gay, but I don't know if it is in that story. What are these? I have no idea about this one. Some of these really don't tell you what's going on. Yeah, Achilles and yeah. Achilles is irresistible to all who meet him. Patroclus is the awkward young prince exiled from his homeland. Brought together by chance, they forge an inseparable bond. That's what I'm talking about. When I have my... when I come up and I have my knowledge of Greek mythology. And old literature. And then see, it's like positive stories. They both die at the end. I don't know what that is. Evelyn Hugo's pretty good. Is it? Can you tell me anything about it, Hal Malcolm? I'm curious. I don't read that many fiction books these days. I don't know what this is about. Yeah, okay. It is gay. These two, Deathcast calls Mateo Torres and Rufus Emeterio to deliver some bad news. They're going to die in less than 24 hours. Total strangers, but they're looking to make a new friend on their end day. The good news is there's an app for that. Okay, cool. See? Oh, that's touching. And then there's Johnny the Walrus, which is just like, I hate trans people. Trans people eat worms. Like, wow. Wow, you knocked it out of the park, Matt Walsh. All right. I think we can end this segment now. Each of these kinds of videos makes more... What? Like how each of these kinds of videos makes more conspicuously bisexual and strictly ironically heterophobic. More? What? Wait, I think you may have mistyped something there. Makes me more. Okay. There we go. My brain's not processing these words. What's happening? I haven't read very many fiction books, or lately at least. And LGBT fiction is not really something I read. Although when I'm looking here, I see, like within the first 10, the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo are is 3 of the first 10. That's promising. One's a Kindle edition, one's the book, and one's the Audible audio book. That is promising. 3 in the top 10? Wow. I'm probably not gonna read it unless like Hal Malcolm or someone sells me on it. What is it? And I wanna read the got like a description on the page maybe. Now I'm curious. Song of Achilles might be mildly interesting, but I don't know if I care. I don't know if I care about any kind of romance. It's not really what I'm interested in. Aging and reclusive Hollywood movie icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant for the job, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Why her? Why now? I don't know if I want to read the rest of this. Yeah, left show business, 7 husbands along the way. Tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. Alright. Well, maybe it's good, but I don't really care. Johnny the Walrus maybe wanted to become a walrus to annoy Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh? Matt Walrus? 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 Oh, this sucked. That joke sucked. That didn't work. That's stupid. That's bad. Okay. Is there anything else to say here? Want to show this to you too. Okay, let's take a look at these. Take a look at these tweets that I got. Boop. And oh, this is nice. All right, let's put these in order. Okay. What is this from? Of all the terrible things this country has done and been involved with, this is where you stand your ground. Just say you hate women and move on. Permitting the slaughter of 60 million babies since Roe v. Wade is the single worst thing this country has ever done. Slavery didn't strike you as worse, huh? Trying to see the best conservatives is really getting harder. Abortion is much worse than slavery. Well, that's a take. Now, we probably disagree because we don't inherently, when I say we, I mean the people here in this community, don't inherently consider a fetus to be alive. Now, that's... this ratio is worse than abortion. Ooh! I'm always down for ratioing Michael Knowles. So, like I said, we don't inherently provide a fetus with the same level of moral consideration because we don't consider it to be alive. Arguably, if you do consider a fetus to be alive, then you might agree. However, I'm not so sure I would say that, even if I did agree. I know Michael J. Knowles. There we go. Michael Knowles is just a disgusting, reprehensible, weird person, and really like, you know, he's creepy too, but creepy in the opposite way of Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is creepy like serial killer energy. Michael Knowles is creepy like I'm following you in the parking lot and I'm stalking you home energy. Or like he's laughing as he sexually harasses you at work energy. Whew. Okay. And then a few days later, wow, 2 days later, he's on a roll. Let's see what he's responding to first. Let me read it. It's not so much that we need to move on from Reagan and Buckley as that we need to remember what they actually believed, e.g. McCarthyism is awesome, academic freedom is a hoax, government should promote virtue, etc., over the misrepresentations of the squish libs who invoke them. That's a new term. In what possible world is McCarthyism awesome? Trampling the First Amendment awesome? America First leads to some really weird and contradictory places. He's right. However, this guy, the new Tolstoyans, I think he retweeted you earlier. He did, yeah. You just like really going at it, you two. Your error, Mr. Tolstoyans, or plural, is in assuming that Michael Knowles is not a fascist and is going to have a consistent answer. Michael Knowles, being a bizarre person, decides to retweet this as a response instead of responding to the tweet itself. Because I guess he wants attention? Weird. There's no First Amendment right to be a commie. This is, unironically, un-American. This is literally what the First Amendment was made for. Although communism as a concept didn't really exist at the time, but the idea of, you know, unpopular political opinions that the state may not like absolutely was. And for those who don't believe me, the Smith Act, well, he's wrong in quoting that. I could tell right off the bat. CC, bad legal takes. True. From The Onion, area man passionate defender of what he imagines Constitution to be. Oh yeah. You do realize every single person at the January 6th riots would be prosecuted under the Smith Act if it was actually being enforced. Oh yeah. Alright. I expected an icon up there. The Alien Registration Act, popularly known as the Smith Act, is a United States federal statute enacted in June 1940. It sets criminal penalties for advocating the overthrow of the U.S. government by force or violence and required all non-citizen adult residents to register with the federal government. Approximately 215 people were indicted under the legislation, including alleged communists, anarchists, and fascists. Prosecutions under the Smith Act continued until a series of U.S. Supreme Court decisions in 1957 reversed a number of convictions under the Act as being unconstitutional. Did you not fucking read that line, Michael? And then he says there's no First Amendment right to be a commie. Can he read? That's great. I love it. Let's see. I don't see an immediate. Legislative history. Yeah, it doesn't say. Okay. Literally un-American, Michael. It really is great that some of the people who call themselves patriots advocate for an America that doesn't exist and never has existed. And they say we want to return to it. And they say America is the greatest country in the world. And then they espouse values that are un-American. Interesting. Do you care it was deemed unconstitutional in many cases? Or some convictions, unfortunately, were overturned, but the law remains substantially on the books. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And as we said, the law says it set criminal penalties for advocating the overthrow of the U.S. government by force or violence. First off, like, that's not a communism. No First Amendment right to be a commie. That's not the same thing. There may be some overlap, but that is not the same thing. This is really stupid. Weak link. Michael Knowles is the weak link. At Daily Wire. He's the beta link. Oh wait, I just realized he's retweeting actual Jake. That's interesting. That's funny. Oh my god, I just noticed the ratio on this. 430 replies, 241 likes. Wow. That's might want to try actually reading the link you posted there. That's nice. That is the laugh. Hey, did you guys know it's illegal to consume alcohol in the US? There's an amendment and everything. Don't follow up on that or look it up though. Just take my word for it. Totally illegal. This is a good take by someone infinitely smarter. And by infinitely smarter, I mean this person passed high school. This person got the full extent of the basic education everyone gets in the United States, which is substantially more than Michael Knowles. That's amazing. That's pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, and if that was actually enforced, then like everyone in January 6th would be in prison right now, and that's not what's happening. Also, I 100% don't buy that most of these so-called communists on Twitter and whatever are actually going to overthrow anything. I'm sorry, but so many of them, it's like, you're not... Everything you're saying just kind of seems like you're just doing this for... You don't actually want things to get better. You just want the street cred of saying you're a communist. Anyway, that's another take, though. Well, I'm glad I covered that. I'm glad I looked at that, because that was really stupid. All right, I think we're gonna end the stream. Yeah, that sound good? I think so. What else? Anything else to say before we go? Today is Tuesday. Probably do a stream tomorrow. Yeah, I think I could do a stream tomorrow if I remember to, and if I'm feeling up for it. I feel like I had like one thing I wanted to cover though. I don't remember what it was. I really don't remember what it was. Maybe. Oh, I do remember now. Yeah, we'll do this tomorrow. Well, we'll do a little tease. Stop. We'll do a little tease. I saw a video pop up on my feed that I just thought was like, wow, what a title. This is from 4 months ago from Fox News. Ben Shapiro, the far left is taking over American institutions. So if you're familiar with history like I am, that's a Nazi talking point. So I think we'll cover that. I think we'll do that tomorrow. I don't really want to cover that right now because we're like kind of winding down and I'm like tired from like working all week, but I think that'll be a good one for tomorrow. Yeah. Also, I posted this 3 times, but you should also cover Michael Knowles, Dave Rubin reading 1984. You're right. I have been meaning to do that. But I've been avoiding talking about Dave Rubin like immediately after the Rubin video went up. But I should like put that on my. Hold on. That's been saved in the. That was in the Discord channel, but I'm gonna save that on the YouTube playlist. I've got a playlist for content I want to cover. There. All right, we've saved it. That would be a good one to cover. God. Because, like, they're both pretty stupid people. Oh, Lord. I feel a little bad at sometimes with how, like, it's like, is this bullying? And it's like, it feels like, on the one hand, I'm like bullying someone who's really dumb, right? But then on the other hand, it's like, these are some of the most popular conservative commentators on the internet. What the hell's going on here? Oh god, maybe I need to like pretend to be stupid, so then I'll get more views. How do I do that? You know, it works for Jimmy Dore and some of these other left-wing creators. Like I'm blanking, I don't remember. Like everyone who really hates Walsh, it seems. Not dislike, hates. There's a difference. Okay. Says something about conservatives. It does. Alright. Alright, we're done. We're done with the stream. Thanks for hanging out. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. You probably already have. Just I don't know if y'all liked the debate, like covering like someone debating. That was kind of new. Let me know. Yeah, maybe we'll do more of that. Bye everyone. See you tomorrow. Maybe.